How did he propose? Is there anything?
Well, we were in New Zealand, and it was actually after heavy rain, and we were like under this waterfall. And apparently had like this whole speech prepared, but it just like went down into bullet points in the moment, you know? Right. So he pulls out the ring, and I'm already like, like before he even says anything. So it's like, okay, we're in New Zealand, we're under a waterfall. Will you marry me? That was it.
I like the bullet points.
Yeah, but he was like crying, I'm crying, and they're like, yeah.
More than 6 months have passed since her last fight, and we still don't know if Ronda Rousey will ever enter the octagon again. On August 1st, 2015, Rousey improved to 12-0 as a professional fighter when she beat Bates Kohea in just 34 seconds at UFC 190. It was the third straight win in less than 40 seconds for Rousey, the bantamweight champion who was on top of the UFC world. But her downfall started when she was knocked out by Holly Holm at UFC 193 in November 2015 in Melbourne, Australia. As Rousey regrouped, she filmed the movie Roadhouse and mostly disappeared from the public spotlight. Now, except for when she appeared on Ellen and revealed she had considered suicide after her loss to Holm.
To be honest, like what I was thinking, like honestly, like my thought, I was like in the medical room, and I was like down in the corner. I was sitting in the corner, and I was like, what am I anymore if I'm not this? And I was literally sitting there and like thinking about killing myself. And that exact second, I'm like, I'm nothing. I'm like, what do I do anymore? And no one gives a shit about me anymore without this. And then, to be honest, I looked up and I saw my man, Travis, was standing there, and I was looked up at him, and I was just like, I need to have his babies. I need to stay alive.
Rousey finally returned to face Amanda Nunes at UFC 207 with a chance to reclaim her title. But just 48 seconds into the fight, it was over, and Rousey was defeated again. Now, Rousey returned to the public eye Wednesday with an appearance on Live with Kelly and Ryan, and she detailed her engagement to UFC fighter Travis Brown, but there was no definitive word on her future in the UFC.
All right, a well-done timeline there by Dave Ross.
Thank you very much.
Who joins us now for Legit or Not. Ronda Rousey will never fight again.
You know, my gut instinct now is that we've seen the last of her inside the octagon. And I hope I'm wrong, because I don't want Ronda Rousey, for all of her greatness, to be remembered for the last 2 fights of her UFC career. Instead, I'd like her to be remembered as the most dominant champion, arguably men or women, that this sport and certainly this league and the UFC has ever seen. And if we don't ever see her in the octagon, my fear is they'll go, oh, Melbourne and then Amanda Nunes. And that's how she'll be remembered. And I don't think that that's accurate if you look back at the rise and then, of course, subsequent fall of Ronda Rousey. The rise was so brilliant. And when she was the best, she was the most dominant champion in any weight class, arguably, of all time. And for that to be stripped away because of 2 fights, one in Melbourne against Holly Holm, and then again inside of a minute against Amanda Nunes, when maybe her head was not right, that would be a shame. But I don't want Ronda Rousey to come back inside the octagon if her head is not right. And in that last interview, you know what she never mentioned? The UFC.
Right.
You know who she never mentioned by name? Dana White. You know what she never addressed? Fighting. So it sounds like she's thinking about Travis Brown, being a wife. She's doing time-lapse videos on Instagram of cooking for Travis. That's where her focus seems to be. And if that's where it is, you've earned the right. That's great. Step away. But if you come back, remember what it took to be the best, and that's what it would take again to get back on top.
We'd almost need to see some kind of Conor McGregor-Mayweather type of furor, I think, and maybe she'd come back in.
I'd love to see it. Come back, Ronda.
Yeah, we don't want you to go
Your
out
fans
that
miss
way.
you.
Yes, make a return to the octagon. I know we'll be waiting.